Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com, and given the current, economic situation, things going on, I should probably be using every filming YouTube minute to promote something for you to purchase. But I also feel more importantly that for our mental health, maybe a good story might be in order as well. So today's going to be a story time. It is a personal story, though. It's not a business story. It happened to me and my family. And this is the story of how we wound up on a private jet. So the story starts about a year ago. It's April 2019. We are due to go on a Disney cruise. It is our fifth Disney cruise, so certainly, obviously been on a ton of them. And as usual, the cruise leaves on a Saturday, 4 o'clock, from Port Canaveral, which, for those of you that do not know, is kind of east of Orlando in Florida. It's where the Disney boats leave from. And we are due to leave JFK Airport, which is in New York, 8 a.m. Fly down there, get there like 10:30, shoot over the boat. Done it plenty of times. Never had a problem before. That should be a first hint. Never had a problem before. So, cruise leaves on Saturday, the day before Easter Sunday. Friday, the prior day, kind of stormy up in New York, a little windy. I'm getting a little nervous, as I guess I do sometimes. I get overly involved in situations. And I'm starting to watch the same plane is flying back and forth from Orlando to JFK, back to Orlando. It's making a lot of back and forth trips. And it's getting delayed and delayed and delayed. Anyway, now it's windy and rainy. It's 11 o'clock at night on Friday night. I'm supposed to leave. A car's supposed to pick us up at 5:30 on Saturday morning, take us to the airport to leave JFK at 8 o'clock. Go to bed Friday at 11 o'clock at night, and the plane's about to land in Orlando. Orlando, yeah, turn around and come back to New York. I'm thinking, I got plenty of time. We're made in the shade. It's supposed to be a beautiful day tomorrow. A little bit windy, but beautiful day. So good. Go to bed. Wake up 2 in the morning on Saturday. Light sleeper. Go to the bathroom quite often, so I drink a lot of water. And I notice my phone. I've turned it on. I just to kind of check the flight, and big red letters, canceled. I'm like, oh my God, the flight's canceled. Let's click here to rebook. I click and it says, sorry, we cannot accommodate your request to rebook. Please call our agents, blah, 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 blah. So now I'm like going into like full personal crisis mode. Just a little background. The boat leaves Saturday at 4 p.m. Okay. I live in New York. A straight drive, I think, is like 18 to 20 hours. So there's no chance I'm going to make it on a drive. And also the first stop on the boat is 3 days later. It goes to sea for 2 days and it stops in Tortola. And if we miss a flight, we basically miss half the cruise. So I was like, oh, this ain't gonna happen. I got a wife and 3 kids. Everyone's looking forward to this vacation. Go to my computer, go to Delta. It's with Delta. The flight was supposed to be with Delta. And sure enough, it says the flight's canceled. Click here, and they can rebook me on like the next day. And I'm like, oh, that's not gonna do it. So I start fishing around. I find that I can fly on Delta 5 first-class tickets through Chicago, then down to Orlando. Still gets me there in like 2 hours time, with 2 hours to spare. I was like, great, book it. I book it. I buy the 5 tickets. I'm not worried about anything else. I just want to get there. Second I click submit, they send me an email. The check-in time for your flight has been moved. It's delayed like 8 hours or something. You got to be kidding me. So now I was like, okay, go wake up my wife. Brief her on the situation, and she says, okay, let's get to work, and go back to the computer. I'm in my home office, and she's now calling Delta and telling them, obviously, cancel the 5 tickets we just bought. How can you get us there? We need to get there today. And, I understand they're grounded to weather, and also it's the day before Easter. There's no flights available. Everyone's traveling. So I start going on Expedia, Price, anything to try to get tickets. I can't find a thing. And then I get in my head this crazy scheme. I'm like, you know what? There's got to be a way. I just start Googling. So I look up chartered flights from MacArthur Airport to Orlando. MacArthur is an airport that's in Islandia here in Long Island, about a 25 minute drive from my house. And I start to get these hits. And I'm eventually taken to MacArthur's private aviation page, and they list all their companies. And I said to my wife, I give her the phone number, the first one, while she's on with Delta. I said, hang up with Delta. They're not getting anywhere with them. So she hangs up, calls the first one. Well, now I'm still fishing around looking for flights from any place else. And she calls, and the place says, sorry, we don't have. Now, mind you, by the way, this is now 2:30 in the morning. Okay, Somebody answers, and the person says, "No, we don't have any planes, but try Executive Flightways. I believe they have a jet that's parked at the airport." So she tells me, "Oh, they told me to call these people." And I look at the list, like, "Oh yeah, they're on here. Give them a buzz." So she calls. Apparently wakes up some poor lady that's, that was very nice that she was on call, for anyone that needs to call like me. And she said, "Yeah, we have a Learjet 60, which seats up to like 8 people. It's at the airport. Are you, is this a serious trip that you need to take? We need to get to Orlando by like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock." And she's like, "Okay, let me make some phone calls and I'll call you back." So my wife gives the lady my phone number because my wife's gonna go back to Delta and try to just work an alternate plan out. Lady calls me back 5 minutes later, very nice, and she says, "Here's the deal." She said, "I got a Learjet 60. I can get a flight plan into Orlando International Airport. I have 2 pilots on standby. I just need the go-ahead from you and I will file a flight plan." She tells me, "Let me just give you an idea of the price first." So tells me, and I said, "It doesn't matter. I need to get down to Orlando today." "Okay, great. Call you back in 10 minutes. Calls back in 10 minutes, says, "You're done. I'm going to send you a bunch of documentation. I just need, you and your wife, your driver's licenses, and then the 3 kids, just their names and birth dates. That's all you need for a private manifest, apparently. And we'll be good to go." So we did all that stuff. And then, we kind of closed the deal over scanning an email. And she says, "Great." She says, "You have a 10 o'clock flight." She said, "Get to the airport at like 9:30. And I'm like, 9:30 for a 10 o'clock flight? What is this? She's like, "No, this is totally different. This is not commercial aviation. You just drive right up to the building and you walk onto the plane." So that was that. Now it's like 4. It's 3:30, 4 o'clock. And, well, I couldn't sleep. Tried to sleep. So the next morning, had the car pick us up now at like 9 o'clock or something. And so, or 8:45. We get there a little after 9. And I just texted, "We're at the building." And she gets back to me and she's like, "Well, the pilot's with the jet on, getting fuel on the other side of the airport, and he'll be there in like 10 minutes. And the building will open and you'll take your bags and stuff." Sure enough, we waited, and it's, I'll throw up photos, whatever I can. And we get on, we see this beautiful plane, get on, take pictures. Kind of surreal at this moment. Got to understand, I only have a few hours of sleep, but I'm trying to kind of capture this in my brain. It's probably something that will never happen to me again. Just really nifty. Everyone was like really nice. Pilots were awesome. I am an aviation engineer, aerospace engineer, and I made, as part of my job for 13 years, made radios, antennas for aircraft, military aircraft mostly. But, we're so ingrained I was so ingrained in aerospace, but, you never really get to ride up in the cockpit anymore. And just so cool. Pilot gets on, he brings you on, right? And then he does a safety briefing, which is kind of funny. And then he's like, "What time you got to be there?" And I tell him, "We're going to go." And then as he's going to sit down, I realize, this is the day before Easter. He gets a phone call, picks it up, and says, I don't know, I assume it's his fiance or girlfriend. He says, "Hi, honey. No, I won't be home for Easter. I have clients on board. I have to leave now." And then flips it off, and that's it. I mean, it's his job, I guess, right? Plane takes off like a rocket. Amazing. And then, as an aviation guy, I loved it. I was able to stand and talk to the pilots, the pilot and co-pilot, the entire time, as much as I wanted. They showed me all the gauges and the dials and the glass cockpit, and amazing. We went up to 41 or 42,000 feet, which was cool. See so much. Again, as a guy like me, it was totally awesome. Everyone else was happy in the back. The plane was loaded up with chips and drinks and chocolate and also the good stuff. And smooth flight. Landed in Orlando, and the second we land, I had arranged for a car to pick us up literally on the tarmac. So the plane lands. I didn't get my phone fast enough to snap a picture, so I just got a quick photo. Van rolls up. You walk off the plane, walk right on the van. The van drives you right out to the pier. Made the cruise with about 2 hours to spare. So I was really fortunate. I was very happy that I could make it happen, and it was a great vacation. And I just didn't want to. I was stopping at nothing to make this vacation happen. It didn't matter anything that would stand in my way, and we overcame. And I did get my souvenir. It's so funny that a plastic cup is my souvenir from this plane flight. I think that's about it. I guess I'll do a wrist check. I'll say I saved it for the end. I'm sorry. Squale, 1521 Blue Ocean. So if you stuck around this long, now you get to see. And that turtle prototype. I'm going to be making something exactly like this. I know a lot of people have asked for it. And that'll wrap it up. This has been Mark from LongRunWatch.com with a little bit of story time of how I wound up on a private jet. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you've not done so. If you have any questions or comments, you can put them down below and I'll be sure to address them as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.